So everybody should have the ability to pick who they want to work with. Don't you agree?
I agree.
So let's talk about the people that we like to work with. Not specifically people, but the characteristics of the people that we like to work with.
Well, the people that we like to work with and don't like to work with, they kind of fall in two different categories. So you have the ones that are kind of like red flag clients, and the
Hmm.
other ones that are like green flag clients, where the red flag ones are the ones where it's like, oh no, you kind of want to avoid them because they waste time, they cause projects to last longer than they need to, and it's just not a win-win. The
Hmm.
the green flag type clients are the ones where we can create a win-win situation, and they're excited and we're excited, and they, experience growth in their business, and so do we. So, I would say starting with the red flag clients, the first red flag that we see that we don't really wanna work with these type of clients are clients that don't respect our expertise.
Mm.
So these are the kind of clients that come to us and they kinda wanna tell us what to do. And so I start asking, like, why exactly are you coming to us? What is it that you need us to do? These are the ones that say, "No, it should be this color. No, we should do this font. No, I want it designed this way." And so they pretty much want us to be the people that just do whatever they say because they don't know how to work the programs, and so they figure since we know how to work the different design programs, we could just do whatever they say. Well,
Mm.
we're a branding agency and we're experts in branding and design. And so we know what works and what doesn't work. And just because the client thinks that something is pretty doesn't mean that their audience thinks it's pretty. It doesn't mean it's going to be effective. It doesn't mean just because they like a font that their audience is going to like that same font. Or just because they like this favorite color, it doesn't communicate the intended message, but then they won't listen to our expertise because they just want us to do whatever they want. Those are not my favorite kind of clients to work with. It's just not fun. It's just
Yeah.
not fun.
Well, as you're saying that, it reminds me of times when I've put on a shirt, pair of pants, and we're going somewhere, my wife and I'll look at her and go, "How does this look?" And she'll be like, "No."
Yeah.
So it's like, it looks fine to me, or it looked fine enough, I thought. But when
Mhm.
you have somebody else who's looking at it and she's got better taste than I do about color matching and all that. So she's the expert and she's saying, no, it doesn't really matter if you like it. I'm telling you, it's not going to fly.
Right,
Yeah.
right. Yeah. So that's who we are. That's who we are in that situation, or we're the experts. So on the opposite side of that, the clients that we love to work with are the ones who allow us to be the experts in what we do. So they come to us and they say, "Hey, you're the professionals. This is what I think I need. Is this what I need?" And we're like,
Hmm.
"Well, let's evaluate that. We'll see if this is really what you need. And this is how we need to execute that." And with those type of clients, we both realize that we're on the same team. We're on the same
Hmm.
team, and our goal is to hit that target audience, that target market, to reach them by communicating visually with all of the things that we are producing so that they can ultimately remember that brand, become lifetime customers, and tell everybody about them. So that's the main goal. We're on the same side. We're trying to achieve the same goal. And so
Hmm.
those are our favorite customers, the ones that are like, "Hey, what do you think? What do you think we should do? I just trust whatever you say. I'm hiring you as the professional experts in this area. Tell me what I need to do." Love those clients cuz then we do our best. We start researching and investigating, and it's that's when it becomes a lot of fun for the entire team. So those are the favorite clients to work with, for
Yeah.
sure.
And in my analogy, which I say it's an analogy, but it really happens. If I go to my wife and I say, "How does this look?" and she goes, "No, not gonna fly." And I say, "Well, I don't really care what you think. I'm gonna go anyway and look
Mhm,
like this." Her response is probably gonna be, "Well, you're gonna go by yourself. I'm not
mhm.
going with you looking like that."
Yep, yep.
Which That's how we feel. Like, if that's the way you want your branding to look, then you can go by yourself because Pixel 13 ain't gonna be looking at it that way.
Exactly. Yeah, because I don't wanna put my name on it, like, we don't wanna put Pixel 13 on that, like, "Nah, that's not our work, that's your work. That's not our
Mhm.
work. That's not professional. We already know that you're not gonna reap the benefits that you intend to reap, and I don't wanna get the blowback from it because I know this is not professional, this is not a good representation of what you're trying to do. I don't wanna put the Pixel 13 name on it. So just as you're building a brand, we have our own brand to protect too, where we have to put out professional quality work, and you're messing it up when you're in the way. So that's why those red flag type clients like that, I'm like, nah, we're not a good fit.
Yeah. Well, just imagine going to, like, a plastic surgeon and be like, "I know what you say, but this is what I want it to look like, and this is how I want you to do it." No.
Yeah,
No.
you come out looking jacked up. So,
Yeah. Yeah, and then you're gonna blame us because you look jacked up.
yep, yep,
Yeah, so,
exactly.
alright.
Yes.
So what's another one?
Okay, so another red flag is clients that ghost us. So
Oh.
even in the beginning, you can see it in the beginning. So we're going through the proposal phase, which is really fast. And then the contract phase where we're like, hey, this is how much it's going to cost. This is what we can do. Let us know if you want to move forward. And it's crickets, crickets, crickets. Or we get to the part where they're like, yes, this is awesome. We want to do it. We want to sign. And they sign the contract. And then it's crickets on the invoice. Or they get past that point and now it's time for the kickoff and they keep pushing it back and pushing it back and pushing it back. Or we get to through the kickoff, we're all excited about what we're gonna do, and the strategy is set, and we're ready to roll. And now we need data. This is the most important part of the project before we
Mhm.
start designing anything. We need data. We can't work without data. That means we need photos if you have them. We need your content, any content, whatever content, even if you think your content sucks. I need the sucky content so I can see what we're working with so we can figure out how to make it better. We need data about where you are and where you're trying to go. And maybe if you're new, we have questions. We have so many questions that we need answers to. And when we ask you these questions, when we send you a document, the red flag clients ghost us. It's crickets. They don't get back with us. They don't send us what we need. It's just crickets. They don't respond to the emails. They don't respond to the phone calls. We have a typical 2-day turnaround time to give us the feedback that we need, and it's weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks. And I'm like, I can't stand this client. This client is driving me crazy because you're making us lose money, number one, because you're taking space on my project board. And there are people who are waiting to get on the project board, and you're in the way. I could have accomplished maybe 5 different branding projects while we're still waiting on your initial data. That drives me crazy because I'm like, well, why did you even contact us if you're not ready to work on this? Don't contact us if you're not excited and ready to roll. So those clients drive me crazy. It's just, they're just, I don't know what they're thinking about when they start because I'm like, why would you start when you're not ready? So that's one of them.
Yeah. I mean, this is a relationship, right? And you wouldn't go into any other relationship ghosting somebody and thinking that's gonna go well for you.
Hmm.
So it's the same thing. And something people often don't realize is the work that we do, it's like you have to be in a certain headspace for each project.
Yes.
And you get in that headspace, you have everything you need mentally and emotionally, you're prepared, and then all of a sudden they're not ready or they're ghosting you. And okay, well, let's move on to another project. The ability to get back on track on that first project is so
It
difficult.
is. It is. It's so time consuming too because say for example, a client ghosts you and it's been a month, right? And so
Mhm.
you've got other projects that you've been working on, teams excited about these other projects, and then all of a sudden that client's like, "We're ready." And then now you have to go back and review all of the notes. And it's kind of like, well, what did we say we were going to do again? And what did they want again? And what was this about again? It's like having that initial kickoff meeting all over again. So now we're doing the same work twice
Mhm.
because we have to remember what it was that we were doing. We have to kind of conjure up that same energy and inspiration. And it's, you really can't get it back the way you had it, not to the same degree because we're aggravated now. Like, really? Now you come like now we just can't wait for it to be over with now because you just wasted our time and we got to do this again just to figure out where we are. So it just kills the whole project when our clients ghost us. And then, we try not to take offense, but sometimes I'm like, do you really think that we're just waiting on you and that's it. We have no other
No,
clients and no other projects, and we have nothing else to do but call you, email you every other day and wait for you to respond. It's kind of rude. It's it's
it
kind of
is.
rude.
It is
So,
very rude. And
yeah.
somebody could think, "Well, I paid you to do this project." Yeah, but you didn't pay us to wait.
Yes.
Now,
Yeah.
if you wanna pay us to wait, I can happily wait,
Yeah.
but we
That'll
didn't charge you for
inspire us
that.
again. I'll be inspired again.
I know. So, if you wanna do that, just let us know so we can charge you for the wait time,
Yep.
and then things will be good, because we'll expect you to ghost us, and then we can make sure that we take the proper measures so
Mhm.
that, you're not being annoying.
Yeah, and that's just a simple communication because I can say this. I have had clients that said, "Hey, I want to go ahead and pay you right now because I want to lock in my spot, but I
Mhm,
can't start until next month." And I'm like, "Hey, go ahead, lock in the spot. We're starting on this date. There's a specific date that is set. It's not some ambiguous kind of, you know, date. It's a specific date that we are going to start. And so they have time to do whatever they need to do. And on that start date, we're ready to roll. So that's not ghosting. Ghosting is no communication. We don't know where you are. We don't know why you haven't contacted us. We don't know why you're not giving us the feedback or the data that we need. That's annoying. So on the opposite side of that, I love clients that are ready to work. So the ones that are they're excited as soon as we ask questions, they're like, "Got it." They'll send us whatever information that we need. And even if there is a minor delay on something, they are fully communicating, "Hey, I have a trip booked that just came up and I need to wait one more week before I can get you this information." Then I know how to schedule that project. They're not doing that all the time, but
mhm.
they are communicating about, what it is that they need to do, what they need from us. They're giving us everything that we need as soon as we ask for it. I love that. I love that because we can fly through those projects. I mean, it's sometimes the turnaround time for projects are long because the clients are just slow giving us the things that we need. A simple feedback. Just, do you like this template? Do you like this design? Are we headed in the right direction? It should not take you 2 weeks to say yes, no, maybe, let's talk about it. It doesn't take 2 weeks to give us an answer. That's ridiculous. So,
Mm-mm.
yeah, I could go on and on about that.
Oh, I know you can. I can see it, boy, you on your
Like
soapbox.
smoking, I'm like starting to sweat. Like,
You starting to have PTSD. Let's talk about the last one here, and hopefully we can not get you all riled up.
okay, so here's another red flag. So another red flag, clients when they don't have a budget, when they don't know how much they're willing to invest in this project. Now, let me be very clear about that because oftentimes maybe you don't know how much these things cost. And I can respect that and I understand that because when I'm dealing with, on a personal level, when I'm dealing with things in a different industry that I know nothing about, I usually ask, how much does something like this cost? And
Mhm,
then they give you a range. Oh, it can be from this amount to this amount. And so those are honest questions, but you need to know how much you're willing to invest in it. So it's no different than going to a realtor and you're looking for a house. And then that realtor is saying, "Hey, so what how much are you trying to spend on this house? Are we looking for a $200,000 house, or are we looking for $1 million home? That's very different. Like, don't waste that person's time because you don't know how much you want to invest in your project. So that is something that aggravates me because I don't even know if we should be talking to you if you don't have a proper realistic budget.
Mhm.
And I don't know if we're giving you everything that we could possibly give you. So it's not like we're trying to make the most money that we can off of you. I want to give you everything that you need to accomplish your goal. You might come to me for a website when really you need a whole brand refresh and a website. And if you can afford it, then let's do the whole thing. But if you can't, then we can break it up and we could just do it piece by piece. Let's start with the most effective thing first based off your budget. We start here. This is the most effective approach for your brand. And then we can add the next thing when you have more capital to deal with. But if you don't even have a clue of how much, oh, I don't know how much, it's like, go figure that out and then call me. You
Yeah.
know, so,
I think people have this fear that, if I throw out the first number, then I'm at a disadvantage. But I mean, we're not selling used cars here,
right.
right? Look, the price is the price. It doesn't matter what your budget is. We just trying to figure out where are we? Like,
Hmm.
do you have a realistic expectation of what you're asking for the price? Like,
Hmm.
if you're saying I want a complete logo redesign and I want it for $99, okay,
That's
yeah,
laughable.
exactly, exactly. But, we just have to figure that out. On the
Yeah.
other side of it, if you said, "I want a complete logo refresh and my budget's 10 grand," then I'm like, "Dude, no, we don't need nowhere near that."
Hmm.
You know, it's
Hmm.
it's trying to set that expectation. I like what you said, which is, what would it cost to have something like this done? What does the range look like?
Hmm.
And that way you can at least say, "Okay, I'm in that range. I'm
Hmm.
ready. I can spend that. So
Hmm.
let's keep talking."
Yep.
But if we're not in that range, then we're done.
Yep.
Like, there's no sense in either of us, client or us, wasting each other's time. We're
Hmm.
just not the right fit. I'm sure you can find somebody that'll do it for that price. We're
Yep.
just not it.
Yeah, yeah. And so that's the thing is that, when you haven't even thought about how much you want to spend, then figure that out first. Figure out what's available to you to invest in whatever it is that you're looking for, a rebrand, website design, graphic design, templates, whatever it is that you're looking for. Figure out how much you want to invest in that and then give us a call and then we can assess your needs because sometimes the thing that you think you need is not actually what you really need. From a professional standpoint, I'm going to tell you, we can do that, but it's not going to be effective for you. You actually need this, and this is how much it's going to cost, and does it fit in your budget? And you're going to say, "Oh, that doesn't fit in my budget." Then we could say, "Hey, these are other options." Or we could say, "You know what? We're not going to be a good fit because we can't do what's effective with the budget that you're working with. So we need to kind of wait till you get more capital to work with, or either maybe we could refer you to someone that has more of a startup type approach to something that just gets you going that is cheaper than we are. So, we don't want to waste each other's time. So on the other side of it, the green flag ones are the ones that they know exactly how much they are willing to invest. They'll say, "Look, all I have is 10 grand. I got 10 grand. What can I do? This is what I had in mind. I was thinking I needed to get a new logo and I need some social media templates." And then I'm like, "Okay, well, let's see. Let's evaluate your brand. And maybe you actually need a new website before you start talking about social media templates. Let's get your storefront done first, your digital storefront, and let's tackle that with your budget first." So that, but they know what the budget is. And because I know what the budget is, I can tell you, look, this is the most effective thing that we can do within your budget. There's no games about, "Oh, well, I don't know, you tell me, and then I'll tell you." And then I'm like, let's just roll. I'm ready to work. I'm ready to do some stuff. I don't have time for games. So anyway, those are the clients I like to work with.
You started getting on that
I
soapbox.
go.
Well, I'm sure that if you're watching this video, especially if you're a business owner, you've got people you know. Like, you know the ones you like to work with.
Mhm.
You know the ones you don't like to work with. We're no different. It's the
Mhm.
same thing.
Yep.
I'm sure that you have those types of characteristics that you would love to run away from, and you do so anytime you can. We'd love to hear about what yours are. If you want to post that information in a comment, let us know what your characteristics are you hate and those that you like in clients. And if you're not doing that, you should do that in your business. You should look at who are the clients in my business that I really love to work with and what are those characteristics so you know who your ideal client is and the ones you want to actually work with and look for.
Yep. Yep. You could see who's wasting your time and who's making you money for
That's
sure.
right. That's right. Well, that's it for this episode. We'll see you again next time.
Bye.